trades. So this is another tool in the trader's toolkit, I would say, because there are so many concepts which we normally use in technical analysis. We use the moving averages, then that is a trend following system. There are many such trend following systems, and also the overbought, oversold, RSI, stochastics are all to identify overbought and oversold levels. So these are basically non-trending systems. Now, Trendline is also a very basic tool because the first three important tools that are generally used by traders is, one is of course the higher tops, higher bottoms, which define the bull market, lower tops, lower bottoms, which define the bear market. That is first concept. Second is moving average. If the market is above all the moving averages, then it is considered to be bullish, and if it is below all the moving averages, it is considered to be bearish. So that's another concept. Third is of course the trend line. So generally, in order to get a clear picture of the overall analysis, either one of this or all the three are generally used to pinpoint with some accuracy regarding the bottom and top. Now, in the case of normal patterns with which the traders trade, as well as using breakouts or the higher tops, higher bottoms, all those things, there you cannot identify exactly where it is going to take support. So the supports are identified with the help of either moving averages or Fibonacci. Generally, the moving averages and the Fibonacci, right? So these are generally the Fibonacci ratios. These are generally used for identifying support resistance levels. So if you want to know the support or the resistances, generally these are used. So now we have seen earlier also this moving average. Generally, you have the 50 moving average, 20, 50, then 100, 200 moving average generally used. And so this is the moving averages help in identifying some important support levels. So that is a known fact. Similarly, Fibonacci ratios where we have the 38.2% and 61.8% are important points where you have the support levels coming. Then another alternate tool that we have is the trend line. So the trend line generally is used in tandem with the Fibonacci ratios or with the moving averages. The problem with moving averages is that suppose if the market is above all the moving averages, then in that case using moving average to identify the resistance is not possible. So there it fails. If the market is above all the moving averages, to some extent helps you to identify when the market falls. So but in a up-moving market, you will have difficulty there. So the alternate tools which are used are generally the Fibonacci ratios and then the trend line. So these are most important set of tools which help in identifying support and resistance. So if you can fine tune your Fibonacci ratios as well as trend line, you will definitely get a very good idea of where the market is likely to stop and or probably for intraday at what point, because once you identify that these are the important support levels it's coming, then in that case you can develop a system where you will trade the market. Now let us say today the market, let us say it went up to 17,335 or 340, then it fell down to 17,210 or 215 levels. Now if you know that the support is likely to come, one of the important support level is going to come at 17,215 approximately, then in that case you wait for that, and then on any bounce back using a bar chart, probably bounce above a 5-minute bar or a 15 minutes bar or whatever it is, you can immediately go and for a buy. Nowadays, if you see, there are these algo systems. What they do is that they are able to identify with the help of algo systems immediately as soon as the support level comes, you just see the market spiking higher. So it doesn't give much of a chance for those people who just see the screen track and then do it is not giving. Similarly, when the breakout happens, immediately you get in Bank Nifty and all 50-60 points move you get, and in Nifty you have the 10-15 points of up move, very fast up move happening. So these are things which which have to be first of all recognized by traders and identify what our limitations are and then trade accordingly, because we cannot compete with those who are having resources both in terms of money as well as in terms of systems. But at least if you know that these are the things which are happening in the market, then you will know what type of trader you should be, because whether you would like to be an investor or would you like to be, what type of time frame that you would like to choose, what type of time frame you can chase, because otherwise we will end only cribbing, saying that no, see, it is behaving like this, market is behaving like this, stop loss are getting triggered. So we cannot find any excuses. That's how the evolution has taken place. So first of all, we need to identify what are the tools that we have, and whether such use those tools. Then first we know that we are able to recognize the support and resistance, but we are not able to do it with the same speed as a system. Then in that case you can see how to implement it. That comes the next stage, right? So right now, first of all, let's try to understand with the help of trend lines whether we are able to get some idea of where the market can probably head towards and below which the certain assets or indices can fall. So we will use probably one or two examples. Best example in equity market could be Nifty, Bank Nifty, one stock. Probably you can look at gold, crude. So some of these assets for understanding. So a trend line clearly defines whether it is in an up move or down move. So if we have a situation where probably the market is like this, right? So you connect all the bottoms, okay? Then you have the upward move. So as long as it doesn't break below this, you can say that there is an uptrend. That's how you look at an uptrend from a trend line point of view. Now you have all the bottoms which are being connected. Normally, generally speaking, markets tend to move within a channel. When you say a channel, there can be an upper line and there can be a downward line. So mostly these two lines will be parallel. So what you can do is that if you connect all the bottoms and if it neatly fits in, then in that case you can take that line and draw a parallel line on the top of the on all the pivot tops. Then you will have a fantastic channel. So whenever the market goes to that place, whether it could be in whichever time frame, it could be monthly, weekly or daily, depending on which there can be a greater amount of fall or support that can come. So you can know that probably at that place there is a likely trend reversal, at least for a short term. So you can position yourself either for taking profits or to avoid going long at that particular point. Okay. So to that extent, it will definitely be helpful. So the best thing is to illustrate with a chart so that you can appreciate this one. So if you know that, at least with the help of the chart, you can identify tomorrow what is the likely support resistance from a trend line point of view, because you have already practiced it with probably the first time that you go for intraday trade. Then normally the pivot point formula is the first one that is shown. There is no pivot point S1, S2, S3, R1, R2, R3. Yes, fine. So that is one type of system. So either you can follow, because you can't chase all the type of systems. Whatever system that you have which can apply consistently, I think all the systems will give you profit. Now question here is that how do you fine tune with, if you know pivot points, you know the trend line, you know the Fibonacci, with all these things you can try to figure out what is the possible resistance support levels that can come. Okay, so that we will try to do it today. Now let's look at the Nifty. Now see, Nifty ever since it started to rise now, the best situation is to go to where we add Nifty. So this is daily chart. We'll go to the daily chart. So if you look at this, we'll try. Okay. So this is the this full screen that you're saying. I think the rally that started taking place since last April now, which is almost 17-18 months. And if you draw a line, I think this is the line. So you must draw a line which has enclosed the entire charts. Sorry, I think because of the click of the screen, it's gone. So let me come back to it. Just bear with me. So this is investing.com. It's a very useful site, and I'm changing the background color for visibility purposes. So okay. Okay. So now let's I'll go to the bigger chart frame, which is the monthly chart. So now this is the monthly chart, and this from this bottom, if you see, we must draw a line where probably which has enclosed all the bars. Okay. So let's look at the trend line here. This is the trend line we're drawing right now, and we'll okay. If we draw this now, probably it is now slightly certain month it is overlapping. So what we should do is we should ensure that we redraw this entire things for understanding purposes. I'm doing all those things because drawing the trend line is itself an art. Probably this one, right? See now, just see this particular bar. Okay. Now this all the months are just whenever it comes to that. If you see this month, then after that it came here, then it came quite closer to this one. So all months are chugging along this trend line, right? So this is going to be a very important this one, and let's look at the what is the slope that you are getting here. Now, one thing very clearly identify that we can identify is, see this bottom. Now this is sorry, this is we'll put the Nifty here. Sorry. There's a technical problem here. Okay. So now let's draw the trend line. See this line, right? So this is the line below which the market has, below which Nifty has not come at all, right? So let's look at the difference in this line between one point and another point. If that is what we call as the slope. So if you want, we can go to the settings and do all those things. But don't want to literally show show distance. Now we have an angle, okay, and show bars range. Okay, so here if you see, it is exactly at a 44-degree angle. This is what they call as a 45 degree, which is a very important angle. So when we have drawn this from the bottom to the present top, there's one, and you have got this market again along a 45 degree trend line, which is a very important this one. And if you see this entire move that we have done is 14. Okay. So now, what's the difference between each one of these points? Say, let us say this is let's say this one, which is 15,513, and this is 15,834. So there's a 350 points between this and this, but this is not exactly this. This is a place. So this is 15,358 where I'm keeping the and this is 15,834. So approximately a 470, 480 to 500 points is what this line is moving up. That means if this month, if this is the case, which is 15,834 at 500 points, which is around 16,334. So approximately this month, if it falls, it should take support closer to the 16,350, which is this line, right? So now this particular place around this line, okay, should now get a support which is between 16,250 to 16,350 levels is where we expect the support. Now, if you look at it the next month, if it starts moving up, it will move. I think we have to keep it exactly in the next month. Sorry. So that comes to 16,695 or so, which means 460, 470 points is approximately on a month on month the trend line is grading up, which means that right now we should expect that if this month, if it does not fall to 16,250 to 300, next month if there is a fall, it will take support closer to 16,695 or 16,700. So you can keep that position in mind. And this, if you take, this should keep as and we have this particular move which is taking place, then we should have next add another 500 points. That will also give a sort of a resistance to the market. So the trend line which we are drawn here, okay. So every month when it is sloping on the up, when it is sloping this, then from this particular place also you can add another 500 points, which should give you some sort of a resistance level. So if you're talking about 16,250 for this month, you add another 500 points, so it's 17,250, 70 where it is presently standing closer to that. Then another 500 points, so 17,700 or so probably could be the next important resistance. So that way you can add another 500 points to get to know where exactly we are going to have this market heading towards. So probably we could make a projection that this month, since it has crossed 17,250, 300, it should have a support closer to 16,750 itself. Okay, 16,700, 750 itself, and we should have a move which is possibly targeting towards the 17,700 levels or so. So that is how you use a trend line for making a projection. And alternately, what you can do is that you can keep this particular line. Now this is like this, right? I told you. So you can draw a parallel line. So we'll keep we'll take this line itself on to the upside and keep it on any of the important pivot points. Sorry. So last month, let us say we have seen last month high was 17,153. 17,153 plus another 500 points makes it to 17,650. So we could expect this month resistance between 17,650 to 17,700, because what we have done is we have kept this particular trend line on the top of the last month. Okay, the top of the last month, in order to make a first projection of to what extent the first resistance can come for this month. We are expecting that probably we should have some sort of a resistance coming towards the 17,600, 17,700. So the trend line to that extent has been helpful in projecting a big market position. Now we have an understanding that probably now 17,200 being broken, we should have some support coming closer to 16,700, 750 levels itself, and the market can head towards 17,000 200 or 17,700 levels or so. So next month, I think also the support will come closer to the 16,700 if there is a deep fall. Otherwise, the first support will come closer to 17,200 if it goes to 17,700. So because it's falling, it's approximately a 500 points on the movement. So from the top to the bottom also, probably the first support will come closer to the 500 points from the top to bottom. So now, having reached 17,300, we expect that probably if there is a fall, it should be around 16,800 to 700 should be the first support, failing which it can go down right up to 16,250 to 350. That's the projection that we can get from the trend line. Now, if we do it on the same thing in the daily chart, now let's go to the daily chart. We'll remove this. So, for identification purpose right now, so we are using this low and this low for the to draw the trend line, because this is where the big trend line is coming. That is the trend line which is coming from the bottom, that is 7,500 or 600. That particular slope is defined by these two lows. So I'm not going into other technicalities. You may think that why can't we draw between this and this? That is okay as far as this particular trend is concerned. If you want to only practice the trend which from 16,376, in order to see where the 16,376 trend is going to be broken, if at all is going to be broken now, you can use a trend based on this line, right? So now let's say, so this is also coming closer to the if you see, this is coming at the angle of say 28 degrees. And there is a 259 points for a 7 this one. So 259 by 70. So it's moving at rate of the slope is moving at around rate of say 35 to 37. So 35 to 37, and let's keep this now. So today, if you see this trend, this is now if you say 259 divided by 70, 259 divided by 7 bars, it is 37. Okay. So today, what we have done is we have kept this above this. There was a correction here, right? So there was a correction at this point. So that is 17,225 or so. So what we have done is we have just kept the bar there to identify to what extent the market can go up to this. Now, the one thing that was at 37 points, because the slope is coming closer to 37 points there, right? So when it comes closer to 37 points, 37 into 2 is 74. So 74 and 17,225 comes closer to 17,300. So that was the first resistance that we expected in the market. So it just broke that 17,300, which means it is now looking good. And if at all there is a fall, I think we should have as first support coming closer to this place. Now we'll have this place. Okay. Okay. So now if you see, if we keep this bar, okay. So this was an important place. See, you see. Okay, so this particular line, if we keep it here, okay, then if we keep it here, because this was an important top, right? So this was an important top. Now that means if you want the first line of support now to come, will be this. Now let's look at it. It is 17,147. So the first support that is likely to emerge is around 17,147 in any fall, and if by chance the drop is going to be below 17,147 on Monday, this will keep increasing now at the rate of say 38 points every day. So 37 to 38 points from here probably could mean you add 17,147 on Monday, then on Tuesday it's going to be 17,194. So somewhere we get a feeling that probably immediate fall is going to be 17,147, and for intraday you keep always, if there is a fall to that particular place, it will instantly take support and move. It will take instantly good support and move. And right now, for there's a chance that probably it can even, since this was a good move here, there is a chance that probably it can be even, because this came quite closer to this, right? So now this is the today's low. Today's low is 17,212. So the first support, if the market is going to be looking good, then 17,212 plus 35 points approximately. So you will have a support 17,212 plus probably around 35 points. 17,247. I think since the support has come out quite well and the market has closed well, so we can expect some support closer to the important level of 17,245 first. 17,245, around that level will be the intraday support which can come on Monday. Now failing which, it can go down to 17,147 on Monday. If 17,245 is cut, it can go to that particular place. So the question is that, see, because of certain issues, I am not drawn the trend line exactly fitting this particular place. We have to just draw and ensure that we get right this one. So because, let me cut this and try to draw this here. So probably this is coming at 1, 2. Now let me say this is 16,395, 16,565 minus 16,395 divided by 4. So it is not. It is just moving at a rate of say 42 points. Exactly, it is now. If you say it is moving at the rate of 42 points, not 37 points. So if we keep this here on this this one, so this is 17,225. So if you add 42 into 2, today it should have been at 85 points. Should have at some first resistance closer to 17,310. Now, fortunately, unfortunately, it was much higher, and so we could not get this. But if you look at it, generally speaking, you will have a good support coming or resistance coming on this parallel lines. On these parallel lines. Now today it exceeded. So in a bull market, normally the upper level can get exceeded. If you see this got exceeded, so we should now have a good support coming here closer to this place. So this should be a good support. This line now which I have drawn below this bottom should be now a first important line for support, and then failing which this should take support. It should come like this. So first of all, we should have even below the above the this yesterday's low, that is today's Friday's low, plus 40, 41, 42 points, which means 17,245 to 17,250 levels should be the support coming on Monday. So now, if you have on the upside, since 17,338 was thing, so you add another 45, 42 points, 17,380, 17,380 could be an important resistance level. So the indication for us is the range could be 17,250 to 17,380. So if it get closer to 17,250, you can buy, keeping 17,211 as a stop loss. 17,211 as a stop loss. But once it falls below that, it will have a support the movement at 17,147. You may think now it is now going down to this particular level. So you will have support coming closer to the 17,145 levels or so. So immediately after it comes down below 17,211, it will take support closer to 17,145 and rush and go back. So this is a bull market. In a bull market, you cannot afford to go short. So if you want to be on the long side and exit only the long side, you can as well exit it if it starts falling below 17,245 itself on Monday, and then buy back at 17,145 or so. So this is how you should plan for your thing. And the first resistance will come at 17,380. But for a moment we are not suggesting any short. Okay, there's a place where you need to be a little bit careful about it. Now, the trend lines can be of different place, different things can be drawn. And now, if you look at this, see this place, which is the most important thing, is this particular gradient, because we have detected this. So let's say this particular area, you can see this is going to be this is a very important. Now you've got 208 bars, which says 6 bars of 208 and going at 27 degrees. So 208 divided by 6 also should give us something very similar, which is 35 points. So here this is a slightly 42 points, as if we said, but now it's coming this particular thing which is showing here looks to be something like a 35 points or so. So we have to calibrate that and do our trade accordingly. So we can now keep this here. See, that's going to be a very important support. Now this trend line which we have drawn is going to be a very important support. Now this has been broken here. Okay, so since this is getting broken, we should now be careful about it and put this line here, right? So this is going to be a very important thing. This particular area is going to be a very important line. A break below this is what probably can drag the market further. So the first stop loss that we are going to get somewhere is this on Monday is 17,120, 130, which I told you. So below which is what probably can be a first important stop loss. And this is unlikely because mostly as soon as it comes down, generally there will be, because there will be a 200 points fall, and immediately in a bull market it gets picked up. So using the trend line, now we have said about the monthly chart, we also talked about the intraday concept using a daily chart. So you don't need to go for it. So we have already clearly said that no, the resistance can come closer to 17,380 and support first can come closer to 17,245, 250 levels, around that level. Failing which there will be deep support closer to 17,140, 150 levels. So if you draw the trend line properly, you will get a very good understanding of the situation here. So the stop losses are very clearly defined for you. So accordingly, you can plan your strategy. So let's look at the Bank Nifty. So we will use the first important trend line here itself. So this trend which started from here, okay, if this is going to be a good support, then the trend which started from here, I think this is the line which you have to monitor. So the first stop loss can come, so today where it exactly took support, you see, just see how beautifully you could have defined your intraday trade today. So this is the beauty of the trend line, because you could have identified that today it will be touching this particular line, and similarly you could have identified that probably this is going to be a support, and similarly you could have kept this. So yesterday was this, sorry, okay, this place, or it can go up to this. Okay, so we could have identified this is going to be a very important level of resistance. It didn't go there, it didn't go up to that particular place, but here we could have identified the support levels very clearly. So this was the place where probably it was expected to drop, because 392 divided by this approximately 130 points. So we are expecting some 130 points above 36,895. Which means 130 points, it comes closer to 37,030 or so. So 37,000, 37,25. And if you see today in intraday chart, once it fell below that, there was a big fall. And the second resistance could have come if we had kept 130 into 260 from, because there are 2 days. So 260 points from here, which is 36,997 plus 260, approximately 37,260. but it went up to 37,135 only today. So we were expecting that if at all that moves up, it can go up to 37,260, and if it comes down, then it should be from 36,469. If you look at it, this another 130, 150 points if we add to this, which is plus 150 points approximately, it is 36,620 levels or so. Or if you keep the trend line, I think you'll be able to get this 36,565. So we're able to identify 36,600 or so approximately as the important place of support. So it came there, just touched and went. So in that particular case, what you should do is, now you know this is going to happen. So let's look at the 15-minute chart for that. So this is the 15-minute chart. Okay. Now, as I told you, the movement. Okay. So today there was a big fall. The moment it was below the this place, see, that is, I told you the first resistance was 37,145. 37,145 was the first resistance, and if it starts falling below the 37,000 mark itself, it can come down significantly, right? That's what we identified with the trend. And the moment it started cutting this 36,998, there was a big fall, and see, it came down closer to the same place which we wanted, 36,600 or so. So around this 36,600 or so, you should know definitely you can go long and keep this particular yesterday's low as a stop loss. Then in that case, it's only 130 points, right? So it's only 130 points from yesterday's point, which in Bank Nifty is an acceptable thing. So from 36,600 or 620 levels, 600 levels approximately, because even though this low was cut, see, immediately it started jumping. So this clearly identified that from here, no, it just moved up by 200 points from here. So how would you have traded this market? So now let's wait for this particular 15 minutes this one to be broken, and once it started to break this, and instantly the next 30 minutes you got a beautiful profit. Next 30 minutes you got a beautiful profit. Otherwise you could have just blindly bought it here and kept this low as a stop loss. So this is Bank Nifty. Now let's look at the bigger time frame. Now, if you look at the bigger time frame, see, I think we have to draw from year to year, but mostly, you know, we look at the weekly chart right now, and let's look at this trend line. Now, just draw this. This is fitting, right? So this line is what is happening. So we are getting almost every time we are now seeing this 25 or 26 degrees support is what's really holding. So I think probably you should look towards this particular angle, which seems to be working well. So so this particular thing, which is also in fact a Gann angle, we can say that. So this this is a very important point of support now for Bank Nifty. If it falls, we should get support somewhere closer to this, right? Because this is now going at this. It should hold above this particular low, and since this eye was broken, so it should come somewhere next week. If it is going to come, it should take support closer to 35,400 to 500. So I think we should expect strong support coming closer to 35,500 levels. So if there is a fall in Bank Nifty, to 35,500 levels, if the Bank Nifty falls to 35,500, it is important that you look towards taking some support there. That is, try to buy somewhere closer to 35,500. And the resistance now, if you see, this is the same thing. Let's pick it up and put it here on the top. See, exactly this week it just coincided there on the weekly chart. That's the reason why it didn't go up that day. Today it was bounded by the weekly resistance. So the resistance was closer to 37,135, and it got stopped there. Now next week, if you look at it, it's coming closer to 37,355 or so. We need to be careful if Bank Nifty first rallies towards 37,355. or somewhere very closer to that place. Now, only a sustained break above that probably can take it above this particular level to this particular next important resistance level, which will come at this place, which is this is 37,905. So the Bank Nifty is now moving at if you look at it, this trend line resistance. Please monitor for this trend line resistance. Now with this 37,790, it could have come based on this pivot point anchoring. Now here this time it just came very closer to that. So this particular place of resistance can be 37,400 or so next week. So 37,400, 410 can be a very important resistance levels to mark, and the support can come basically if you look at it, it can come yeah, okay. Now this can be a support. Now next week 36,395 approximately could be a first important support that can come. So 36,395, 36,400 levels itself can provide some sort of a support. So if it falls first, then 36,395, 400 levels, please look for it. If it rises, then look for 37,400, 500 levels. So that's likely to be the weekly movement of 1,000 points. Weekly movement is possible between 36,350 to 37,500. So based on this, you can work out your option strategies also. So for a weekly now Bank Nifty strategy, you should, if you want to sell any put spread, you should always try now keep it below 36,395, 36,200 or so. So based on that only, you should now look towards going on the shorter side. So today it closed at 36,761. Better to look at something like 36,200 and put in a spread between 36,200 and 36,000 or so. Whatever premium that you get probably can be can get you money there. So similarly, you want to sell on the upside, the call should be only about 37,400, 500 levels. If it is far off and if it doesn't fetch anything, just leave it there. Okay. So this is how you identify with the help of Trendline for intraday as well as for this one. So today we showed how Bank Nifty we could have identified. Now the same thing, if you look at it, the daily chart which we used here. Now what's the we said this is coming at closer to 130. This is this low was 36,469, and this is 36,560. So approximately 100 points. Instead of 130 points, it's 100 points. So normally it should be now 36,565 plus 100, 36,665. Right? So the market has moved 36,761. So let us see what happens at 36,665. If at all 36,665 is going to be broken on intraday first, then in that case there could be a much faster slippage that could take place. So we will see this particular place. Just mark it 36,665. 100 points down from here from Bank Nifty. If it falls, will it have a much greater fall? Greater fall in the sense that probably we will be looking towards this particular place. No, so okay. Now, yeah, so I think probably then in that case there is a chance that it can as well go down to this particular trend line place, which could be 36,100 levels. So 36,665 break probably could be a little bit hurting as far as Bank Nifty is concerned, which can push it down closer to 36,110, 115. From there, it can take a support. But the deeper weekly support right now could be around 35,000. One I told you 36,350 levels, which I told you. So probably we may have some support even before that, 36,086, which we have set for Monday. And if it is moved up a little bit on the for Tuesday, it comes closer to 36,200 or so. So we expect some sort of a support next week, probably towards the 36,200, 300 levels. So on the upside, probably could be around 37,400, 500 levels. Okay, so this is the trend that with the help of trend line we are projecting it for next week. Monthly thing already we have told you, both for Nifty and Bank Nifty. So we will move to some other chart. Now let's look at gold, international gold. So gold is doing well. Now this is a daily chart. So 1825, 1826 right now, and of course from the Dow chart type of higher tops, higher bottoms, gold is doing very well. And if it breaks this 1832, 33 levels where it went up very closer to that and came, I think we are looking for a very bullish situation, because that will be a monthly breakout. If you look at it, there's 2 months breakout. So this is going to be quite a crucial period. But of course, then we have a big trend line resistance which can come closer to this place. That is. So probably this is coming closer to 1875. So first of all, it has to clear this 1832-33, and 1832-33 can take it down up to 1875, 1876, and we need a clear break of that particular line of 1875-76 to get a complete reversal as far as gold is concerned. And any fall in gold right now will be this one. So first of all, we expect now this line was broken. So now, since this trend line was broken, we expect support now come to this. Now, so this one, we expect support, if at all there is any fall, 1775, 1780 should take care. So, as far as gold is concerned, looking possibility on the downside of 1775, 1780 support, and the upside probably could take it up to 1875 levels. Okay, that's as far as gold is concerned. And I will look at the WTI crude. It's now at 69.95. So crude is also, generally speaking, still the bearish situation is not developed to that extent, because it has not broken a 3-month low yet, and so it is still on the upside only. And right now we are now encountering resistance drawn across this particular line, and we should have a support. Now if we draw from this bottom, so now this is breaking, right? So since this is breaking, we should have some support coming here. See, this is an important support. So the first important support for crude is going to come this week's low, which is 67.14. So one day a break below 67.14, I think probably can take the crude futures down, and then it can probably head towards a slightly much lower level. So as far as crude is concerned, I think this week we have a strong support close to 67.15, and next this one can go a little bit on this side. So I think we should be looking towards 1 minute. So let's so this line is a very important trend line support that could have come, and we were expecting something closer. As I told you, this 27-28 degrees can provide a strong support. So right now it just still held about 32, and if you look at it, see, this is the 45-degree angle. This 45-degree angle is the most important, this one, and it was there for such a long time, that 44-degree this one, and once it broke only, then we had a strong fall from that particular level. So now we could have expected something much lower, but still crude is not out of the woods as far as weekly chart is concerned, because it is forming a lower top, lower bottom. So for which a break below 67.14 is very much required to confirm some sort of a top for a slightly bigger fall, which could probably come closer to the 58 to 60 degrees this one. So this is as far as the charts are concerned. So we can look at probably so one or two stocks. We look at Reliance. Just for understanding purpose only, see the type of rally that has taken place in Reliance is a weekly chart. Okay, so let's look at the monthly chart. Monthly chart right now. See, now we will draw this line. Okay, so this is the 43, 44 degree angle, this one, and let's look at this chart. If we put this on the top, so exactly, no, this is so we have to monitor this particular movement. Now this is coming approximately 2 bars. It's coming at 80. See, this I is around 2274, and after 3 months it is it's 120 rupees, right? So probably we could expect another 40-50 rupees first to come, which probably could be 24, 28, 24, 30 levels. So I think around 24, 30, 40 levels we have to see how the performance is, because it has rallied a little significantly right now. So we could expect some sort of a resistance to come at this level. We need to be careful about it because if what we have done is we have drawn this line and kept a parallel line above this. So if this is going to be broken, then we should be looking at something of this thing, which could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that could come to something like 300 rupees from here. So then probably we are looking at something like 2530, 2530, 2530 next month. If 2425 is broken, approximately 2425 is broken, then 25, 30, 40 levels is likely to be a chance. So what we should do is, for just to take a call on that, you just buy at 2450 call and leave it, because if it is going to rally significantly, we should get something like 2520, 2530 levels. Just buy at 2450 call and leave it. Whatever you get out of that, right? So if at all you're going to make a loss, no, the amount of premium loss is going to be significantly less. Okay, so then you can always look at some lower place and then again buy. Okay, so I think 2450 call as far as Reliance is concerned, because if it breaks this 24, 30, 40 levels, then it could be heading towards 25, 30 levels, which looks to be quite promising as far as Reliance is concerned. So we will monitor this particular strategy. Okay, now it's 7:53, so you can ask your questions. Thank you very much. It's a very interesting concept, because based on this trend line on Fibonacci, you will be able to identify the strategy also, like how we pinpointed as far as Reliance is concerned, right? So similarly, that's the same situation as far as crude or gold is concerned. So let's say if none of your option you want to trade in crude, then probably like in the international crude, it is $67, below which probably it can come down. Now, if you look at the Bank Nifty, if there is a fall, okay, towards 36,200, 300 levels, then you can look at something like a 36,500, 37,000 call or a spread in order to take a profit up to 37,500 levels. Now, how to calculate 37 points? Now, see, as far as Nifty is concerned, you should keep it is like this. Stochastic buy for buy stochastics 20 near or more than 20, near 20. So you should have the stochastics going below 20 before you take a long call, right? So now I'll just show you how to calculate that. Now Nifty, we'll go to Nifty. So we'll go to the daily chart. Okay. Now this low, this is the low, right? After that, what is the low? This low. Now, what is the difference in this one? What is this low? Low is 16,376. What is this low? 16,565. So 16,565 minus 16,376. This comes to 189 points. But 189 points for how many bars in between? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the fifth bar, right? So you leave this bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 bars, okay, for 189 points from down to up. If you leave this bar, so 189 divided by 5. It comes to 38 points, right? It comes to 38 points. So approximately you get us 40 points, okay, 38 to 40 points. So you measure this, and you take the trade. Okay. So the same thing, this, around this 40 points or so is where probably we are talking about. Since this is low today, we are expecting that probably we should have some support above this particular point. So if it is 17,212, we are expecting another 40 points. If we have 17,250.52, okay, it should be the approximate resistance area as far as this is concerned. So this is 38 points is based on this. So you can use either this, or you can use probably you look at this particular thing. Now this is going to be, you can use whichever way you want it. 16,162, and this is 16,376. So 16,376, 214 points of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 214 by 6, this one, right? So 214 divided by 6. That's also 36 points. That's why I'm saying this is 36 points now. Right? So this is 36 points. So 36 points, if you use it, then this will be, see, this is 30, this should be 36 points into 2, or approximately 40 into 280. It should be 17,225 plus 80. No, it should have been, we should have something like 17,305. Today it should have been the first resistance, but it went up by to 17,335 or so. This is another 30 points on the upside, right? So as I told you, the bullish situation, it can keep going up. Now, so the important point is that from this place, okay, this was the low, right? So from here we should have like 35 points we should get when it falls. So that means this is 17,055. So today 2 days have gone. So 3 days tomorrow it should come, say, 120 points or so. That's why I said 17,055 plus 120 points, which is 17,130, 140. That's why I said it should be 17,130, 140 now. It's the support for Monday if it falls to that extent, because first is the above this Friday low, which is 17,245 or so. I told you, if it cracks, then most important support will come to 17,145, 150, below which probably the most important stop loss can take place. Below which the most important stop loss can take place for a further fall, which could be from this low to this low, whatever that we have drawn. Probably that can come through. Or probably it can go from this particular low also, it can come. So we have to look at all this, because every time you will have some supports coming at the trend lines. Now let us say this particular trend line, if you have drawn this, same thing if you, then this will come to this, right? So, now which is the most important place? This, because this is the low from where it has rallied significantly, right? This is the 15,513. So this line is going to be the most important line. This line can be a most important line for defining the overall change the picture, to change the picture significantly. So I will keep this line as the most important for position trading, for a big investment. And for the position trading, for the normal immediate stop loss will be for this level. Okay, approximately this level. Right? Now, the another thing is that for intraday, I will keep this. This is 3738 points from this level. So 17,212 plus 17,250 is the possibility on the downside. On the upside, if you keep today's high itself, which came 17,338, because there was a good push down from that level. So 338 plus 37 or 40 points, 17,380. This is what I'm expecting, 17,250, 17,380. Let's see what happens. So thanks for their participation. So we will see on Monday with in currency derivatives. So basics of, because last week somebody had asked for currency derivatives, so we will look at currency derivatives on Monday. So thanks for your participation. Okay, thank you very much. Safe this one and happy weekend.